What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Sorry for the little bit of delay in post. I know I haven't made much of a trade recap too many this week. I've been on the phone with Habibi a lot, and I've kind of been playing around with a lot of different styles of trading. Right now, I am live streaming on Twitch, and pretty much what I was just saying in the stream. If you guys want to go follow my Twitch where I live trade every single day, and I'm going to start doing live recaps and everything like that, go down in the description. I will plug it there. But I'm pretty much going to start doing everything live on stream and then just taking the clips from the stream and then posting them onto YouTube for you guys to watch back if you want. You could also go on Twitch to watch the entire thing if you want, but it's going to be easier to just go on my YouTube and find that if that's what you're interested in, the trading content. I also do a lot of other streams on Twitch as well, just chill gaming stuff. So make sure to come down there in the description and check that out. But guys, pretty much the way that I've been trading, it's very simple and it has been very good, and there is potential to catch huge trades, okay? Habibi, this is something that Habibi kind of put me on, and I've been using it. We kind of, like I said, we've been backtesting it a lot and working on it. Pretty much first thing I'm doing, always marking out 9:30 a.m. open. Obviously, I have been trading Asian session a lot too, so if I do trade Asia session, I will be streaming that as well. But today, I'm going to go over the trades that I took. First thing I do is hop out onto the hourly. Pretty much what I have been doing, this is pretty similar to my 3-minute strat, which a lot of you guys are probably familiar with. That pretty much was just trading bullish engulfings, or engulfings in any way. Bullish if you had a long bias, bearish engulfings if you had a short bias. And that was pretty much how I would trade. Now, this is kind of similar. However, we are marking out zones on the higher time frame and executing them on an even smaller time frame, like the 1 minute and the 2 minute. So pretty much we're marking out these zones on these higher time frames, and we're marking out the zones like we're swing trading, but we're entering off like we're scalping pretty much. And this gives us really good RRs and gives us potential to catch really big moves. So first thing I did today was hop out onto the hourly time frame. Market played opened up right here. I'll just replay it right there and show you guys what I marked out at open. So first thing I had marked out was this high up here. I didn't mark it all the way down to right here, which is what I usually would do. So usually what I like to do is draw from like the high or a low that we have and then draw it to the bottom of the body before the big move. So obviously this is a zone. We had the big move around right here, and the bottom of the body in this case would be right there. However, this was quite a large zone, about 85 points. And if I'm trading on the 1 minute or 2 minute time frame, I don't want to be trading off of 83 point zones. So what I did was just mark out the top wick right there, which was only about 23 points, which is much better. Next zone I marked out was this right here, that high right there. And I also marked out this low right there. And then I think also I had probably something like that. This is a little bit of a bigger, okay, actually I don't think I had this marked out. That would have been too big. I just kept that in mind, didn't have that marked out. Also, what you can do, we've been drawing our zones on the 30 minute and the 1 hour. So I think on the 30 minute, I actually was able to get a lot better of a zone, like just by marking out the wick like that. Yeah, that's about a 40-point zone, so that's fine. So these are the zones that I had drawn out. Also, on the 30-minute time frame, I also had these highs drawn out right here as well. Pretty much these highs were from our Asia session. As you can see, they were 10 p.m. last night, so yesterday, and then we had pre-market highs right here that we were holding off of. We had no news today, but going into market, I did have a bullish bias, and you will see in a second. So market opens, I hopped onto the 1 minute time frame, and I was bullish out of the gate just because of this little move up right here. You can see that we tapped into our zone perfectly, and I'll go over exactly what I'm looking for to take setup. So you guys can see that we tapped into our zone perfectly there and rejected out of it. However, to play reversals, so there's two kinds of setups that you can get with this strat, really. You can play reversals off your zone, which is not really what I like to do, but you can take trades if you get them. But I like to see really, breaks above zones and kind of retesting. So we're kind of using a little bit of our supply and demand knowledge that we've gained over the years and applying this as well. To play reversals, I like to only look at the 2 minute and 3 minute time frame. But guys, remember, we're only really trading engulfing candles when we're looking for reversals, or really in any scenario. Engulfing candles are really what we're looking for with this strategy. So yes, we did have a big rejection off of this zone at open, but I didn't take it just because we didn't have any kind of engulfing on the 2 minute or 3 minute. We did have it on the 1 minute right here. You could have taken shorts off this if you really liked it with your stop loss above that high. That would have been about 25 points, and you probably would have been able to catch a little bit. But reason I didn't take that was because, like I said, 1 minute has a lot of fake outs, and I like to trade when I'm taking for reversal setups, I like to be on the 2 minute or 3 minute. So I pretty much just stayed on the 1 minute, sat that one out. And what we're always looking for, guys, is flags. Okay, bear flags and bull flags is the main part of this strategy when you're trading with the trend. So right here, we had a perfect bull flag right here that we broke above right here, and you could have taken a setup right there. However, I did know that I had this zone marked out up here. So I wanted to see us break and hold above this zone first, really. Right? Anyway, we end up having a little bit more ejection off it. Boom. Right there, we break above very, very strongly, and now this is where I am officially looking for a long setup. I am looking for simply to enter longs a bull flag on the 1 minute time frame. A bull flag can be as simple as something like this. You can see that we already start to form it. We broke above our zone, had a little bit of a pullback. I mark out a bit of a bull flag just like that. And what I want to see is now the 1 minute time frame press above this little line that I just drew with some momentum. Right there. Now, I don't wait for a close. Like I said, we are using these higher time frame zones to get an idea of the bigger overall trend as well as what market wants to do on a higher time frame. So if I zoom out onto the hourly, you can see that obviously we are bullish and we broke above those highs. If I zoom out even further, you can see just from down here, we have been bullish for just the last couple of days. Pretty much this whole week, we have been in this pretty steady uptrend, as you can see like that. But to execute our entries, we want to almost treat it like we're scalping. So I don't wait for a close. As soon as I see this bull flag start to form, boom, I took my entry right around here, right? So as soon as I start to see this candle right here start to push up with a lot of momentum, and when I say momentum, I pretty much mean that it's not rejecting, right? This candle pretty much opens right here and just went boom, 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 right? It didn't test this at all and get pushed back down a little bit. There was pretty much no kind of rejection in this candle. So if you want to hop down to the smaller time frame, even like closer, like the 30-second or something like that, you could. But it is easy enough to read on the 1 minute and see that momentum. So I took my entry right around here after we pushed up through that with momentum and broke out of this bull flag. Textbook bull flag right there on the 1 minute time frame. Broke above our zone. We're obviously in an uptrend, so we're playing with the trend. Everything lines up. Boom. A+ setup, right? Stop loss is going to be a close below this low on the 1 minute time frame. What I like to do is have two areas where I know I'm going to get stopped out. The first one is this low right here, which is going to be the low that we pretty much just created on that bull flag. And that's going to be, I'm going to wait for a close below there because it is potentially possible that we could come down here and kind of wick there. So I'm going to wait for a close below to get stopped out, and I'm going to put about an automatic stop loss about right there. It's up to you how big you want your automatic stop loss to be depending on your position size. I like to put it around, 8 to 10 points bigger than where I would like to see a close below, but it's really up to you. So a lot of trading like this is just trading pure price action, right? Our first TP is always going to be 20 points. The way that I take profit on these is 20 points, 40 points, and then 60 points to get all out. Whew, holy shit, I'm yapping right now. Let me take a deep breath and sip of this DC real quick. Boom. We instantly see 20 points right there. That's our take profit 1. After take profit 1, we move stops to break even. And then we had our next TP right up here, which was just below the next zone. You can see that I really like this because if we zoom out, we have a lot of imbalance to the upside to play to this next zone, right? Anyway, we do end up getting stopped out break even just barely. Look, barely got stopped out break even by that wick. But still having a bullish bias, obviously. Probably wouldn't flip bearish until we came back below this zone right here. Still looking for a bullish setup. We start to form a little bit of a flag right here. Boom, I took my second long setup right there. We started to have a little bit of a flag right there. You can see how strong this candle push up was, and we just pushed straight up to high of day with very good momentum, and obviously we're just still playing with that uptrend. Took my entry about right here, same exact setup as before. My stop loss was a close below this low, right? You could have put it a close below here. I just put it a close below here, and then I had my auto SL about right here, which was about 30 points. Luckily, this thing did hit take profit, so first TP is 20 points. So our first TP was negative RR, unfortunately. That's sometimes going to happen. We chopped around for a little bit, did end up hitting TP1 right there. Boom, we moved our stop loss to break even. Take profit 2 is right there. Take profit 2 ended up getting hit. Still have our stop loss at break even. All out TP would be up there at 60 points. And this ended up getting stopped out at break even right there. So we did TP right there at 40 points. Beautiful trade. Now, you can see that we broke above the zone barely right here, but then we came back down and broke back below it. So I was bearish now, right? And I was done actually trading after these first 2 trades that I took, these 2 dubs. And the good thing is you can get good RR. So you can see that I had a at the second TP, I had a 1.6 RR. And even though we got stopped out at break even, it was a great trade and we did make a good amount of money off of it. Anyway, we break back down below that zone. So now I am bearish. Reason I'm bearish is because we broke above the zone and then broke back below. Remember how over here I said I wouldn't be bearish until we came back below the zone? That's because we hadn't got above this one yet. But then we end up getting above this one and then coming back down. Right? Now, this is where I would like to possibly take a short setup. So you actually... Ooh, I'm actually just noticing this right now. You could have taken shorts right here on the 1 minute time frame. You could have taken shorts right here on the 1 minute time frame as we formed a little bit of a bear flag right here, pushed down with some momentum. Let's just test this out. Let's say you got it like right here. Stop loss would be a close above there. Auto SL would probably be maybe about 20 points right there. So in this setup, I didn't take this because like I said, I was done after these first 2 trades. But in this case, this is really good because this is such a tight SL. Even your auto SL is probably going to be about 20 points. You could put it up higher if you want. I'd probably put it around 20 points. That would mean that my first TP would be a 1-to-1 assuming auto SL. But in this case, I would probably be going in this trade with about 12 to 13 micros, right? Which on a 50K account is going to be really good. I actually don't know if this hit. Yeah, I do recall this getting stopped out, if I remember. But that was a great setup nonetheless. You would have got stopped out of it, and that was a great RR trade. If you were sized a little smaller, like I said, I like to size so that my losses are about the same dollar amount every time. But I would still be up on the day from these first 2 trades, right? Let's keep going. So we come back up into the zone. We could look for a reversal out of the zone right here if we get an engulfing. No engulfing on the 2 minute or the 3 minute. So we hop back on the 1 minute after coming back above our zone. Now we can look for longs again. Boom, bull flag right there. Push up with momentum. That's a great setup. Let's say we get filled right there. Stop loss would be a close below there, which is only a little over 10 points. Auto SL probably somewhere down here. Boom. You could be sized very good on this trade as well because it's only probably about a 15-point SL, right? First target's going to be 20 points. First take profit... Okay, so depending on where you got filled, you would have hit first TP. When I tested this today, where I would have got filled would have been probably somewhere like right there. So honestly, you kind of probably would have had to luck out on that one in order to get a good fill on it and hit that TP1. But I'm going to count that as a dub. So on this day, like I said, I only took those first 2 trades and then I was done. And then I kind of live tested those 2. And I live tested them. You could even watch the stream on my Twitch, but this trade actually did end up hitting when I was live testing it. But that's pretty much it, guys. Price action today was very good, I will say. In my opinion, I just think we had a very clean move up. But pretty much all this is, guys, is just trading these flags off of these zones. Using your supply and demand knowledge really to execute on the smaller time frames, right? After we broke back below the zone, you could even look for a short setup here again. Let's see if we get one. A little bit of a bear flag forming. Like, let's just live test it. Let's just, I guess this isn't really live testing. Let's just back test it. Boom. That looks like it did have some good momentum. That it's hard to tell because when I'm back testing, because when I click this, it just obviously shows directly the next candle, right? It doesn't show me how it played out. And in order to see the momentum, I would need to actually watch how the candle is printing in real time. So I can't honestly even really say if I would have taken that or not. It looks like you would have got stopped down in it anyway. Like pretty much right here, when I was watching this candle, it was kind of a straight push up, right? I wasn't even on the charts at this point, so I really can't say. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to replay yesterday as well, the trades that I took, or I don't remember the exact trades I took, but let's just go back a day and kind of just back test so you guys can get a good idea of this style. So you guys can kind of already see probably how it's a little similar to the 3-minute strategy, right? But we're trading a lot of bull flags and bear flags. The only time we're trading the engulfings is on the 2-minute or 3-minute time frame when we're trading a reversal out of a zone. So you have two options. You're either trading a reversal out of a zone, or you're trading with the trend after, playing in the direction of the trend, or after getting above or below one of your levels, depending on what your bias is. When you're playing with the trend and on the 1-minute time frame, you're just strictly trading bull flags and bear flags and looking for that momentum push either up or down, again, depending on what your bias is. If you're playing reversals out of zones, you're looking for engulfings on the 2-minute or 3-minute time frame. Anyway, let's go to yesterday and back test it a little bit. 930 is right there. Alrighty. Yesterday's price action was really bad. I'll give you guys a fair warning. If you guys traded yesterday, which would be Thursday, August 7th, you guys already know. Anyway, same thing, hopping on to the hourly to look for some zones. So we were very, very bullish. I think pretty much the only thing I saw in the hourly was like this down here, but that's 500 points away, so probably wouldn't be looking to draw that out because we probably wouldn't get down there. But I would draw out something on the 30-minute time frame, which would probably be something that looks a little bit like this. Yeah, that's good enough. And then we really didn't have anything up here, to be honest. That's not a big enough kind of a hold for me to mark out, or a push down for me to mark out as a high. So I'm pretty sure the only zone that I did have marked out was that one right there. Anyway, let's go ahead and play at open. So it looks like, as you can see, when market opens, it's kind of hard to see what your bias is. Pre-market, we were just chopping around the whole time. A small thing to keep in mind was that we had these highs. You could look at smaller time frame internal highs. Obviously, your zones that you draw out on bigger time frames are going to be respected more, right? A zone on the 1-minute time frame is going to be faked out at break probably above and below a lot more and be less respected than a time frame that you draw out on the 30-minute or the hourly, and so on. But if we go back onto the 1-minute, you could have honestly instantly taken longs right here. I personally didn't. But you could have taken something like this with your stop loss as a close below there, maybe auto SL like down here. Boom, 20 points hit. Stopped out at break even. When you're chopping around like this, you really can play either side, right? When you're playing a range, you can really play either side with flags. I like to just trade whatever I'm seeing really on the smaller time frame, which in this case on the 1-minute time frame looks bullish. Another bull flag starting to form right there. We start to push down off of it, and boom. Right there, you could have taken longs after we broke back above it, again, with some momentum, probably about right there. Stop loss close below there. First TP at 20 points, which would have got hit right there. Stopped out break even. So you can already see how yesterday was starting to be really, really choppy. This is already 15 minutes into market open. You can just see we were going up, down, up, down. So like here, you could look to take shorts. Obviously, you probably would have got stop break even out of those longs. Like right here, you could take shorts off of this. So like boom, you could take shorts. Little bit of a bear flag right there after pushing down off of these highs. You could actually see we took out this high right here and then rejected off it. So those shorts look really good here. You could have taken shorts. A little bit of a bear flag there. Starts to push down some momentum. Let's see, you get filled right there. Stop loss, right, a close right there. Auto SL maybe somewhere like this. First TP is at 20 points, which hits right there. Next TP would be down there. Stopped out break even. So even though you would have been able to take all three of those trades, this one at open right here, boom, TP, stop out break even. Again, break above. Just, so we are kind of playing a little bit scalpy on the 1-minute when there's not a lot of zones, but these aren't trades that I took yesterday. I don't even remember exactly what trades I took yesterday, to be completely honest, but I am learning a lot more about the strat and how it's working, and stuff like that. And I definitely just do want to make more videos on it. I'm kind of just yapping on stream right now, and there's like the gears are turning in my brain right now. This starts to move back up. Once again, you could look for longs. You're already be 3-0 on the day. You could look for longs just to play back up to this, or tap back into the middle of the range. You could look for longs just to play back up. Probably wouldn't take that. Yeah, that starts to, this is forming some bullish consolidation. Boom. If you really wanted to, you could kind of take it on this candle if this was pushing up hard enough. Even if you did take it on this candle right here, let's say this pushed up with a lot of momentum, and you took it right there, you put your stop loss as a close below this right here, you would have still been in this. Since you always wait for a close below, TP1 would hit at 20 points. TP2 would hit at 40 points, and you get stopped out, break even. So you guys can see how even on a choppy day, this flag setup, this kind of flag scalping method, you know, it's very good. I do much prefer scalping like this and taking these kind of more scalpy setups on the 1 minute time frame with flags than reversals out of zone, just because I always like to play with the trend. Even though on a day like this, there is no really clear defined trend. We are just chopping, as you guys can see there. But that's going to be it for this YouTube video. That was just a really quick rundown of how I've been trading exactly those. So it's a lot harder to explain this because it's not as technical as something like my 3-minute strategy, right? My 3-minute strategy was very technical. It had very specific rules. It was like, okay, this, and this. And it was like exact metric things that you could see and know exactly if they happen. It's a little bit different on this, and you're kind of using more of your intuition and your knowledge of kind of other concepts as well, and reading price action to be able to take good setups on this. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, Inca? So that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure to check out my Twitch in the description. Pull up on there. I be gaming and shit on there. Be playing hardcore Minecraft, clip farming, all stuff like that. But yeah, I will see you guys later. And make sure you follow my Twitch and join the live trading.